What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Listography. Jason, Joe, and Krams are here.
I'm not even here. I'm not even here. Just watching. This review is filmed before a live studio audience, and I'm watching.
So this is going to be a quick mini review, I guess, of the new ABBA record called Voyage. Joe and I listened to it, and we are going to be reviewing it. Kram has not heard it, but he is aware of each of our positions on the record and is sticking around to watch what is sure to be an interesting discussion. I think Joe should definitely go first here. If you're here to see like a serious ABBA review, just watch Joe's part and then be on your way, because things will get a little messy after that.
Yes, Jason's not a big ABBA fan, to say the least. So, I guess if you don't like ABBA, take his word. You're not going to like this one. There's nothing really here. But for a band, 40 years since their last album, The Visitors, 1981, their big breakup album, things were getting a little icy in both their personal lives. They had been divorced. They were done, done touring the world, wanted to start families, have families, get on with their lives. So the music reflected that. 40 years later, they're back for some reason. Who knows? They're all rich as hell. Like, don't need the money, don't need the fame. One of the most famous bands of all time around the world, a little less so in the US, but they rival the Beatles and everyone else basically in Europe. And they decided just to throw an album together. They're all, 70 years old at this point. And I think for being septuagenarians and putting an album together 40 years after their last one, it can't get much better than this. I'm not saying this is a 5-star album. I think this is 3.5. I might get to 4 someday, basically just based on the emotion of having a new ABBA album out. It's very, I'm going to say, charming. It is very sort of like your grandma made an album, because the lyrics are not fresh, they're not new, they're not like cool. The music, like, basically a day hasn't passed since 1981. Like, there's nothing new and hip about this music. Bjorn and Benny are not on the cutting edge here, not even for like Swedish pop. Like, it's still very much right out of like 1980, 1979, a little disco, little Euro dance, some Schlager in there. And it's just like a really simple, nice album. Mostly, I didn't get a lot of Agnetha's, I didn't get a lot of Agnetha's leads in this. I think it's mostly Frida on the leads. Like, Agnetha does the backing vocals, but I'm not sure how much she actually contributes here. So I don't know how, what shape they're in as far as their voices go. You don't get anything from Bjorn and Benny as far as vocals. They're just the hit makers, writing the music, playing the tunes. And it's nice. Like, the first time I listened to it, I was disappointed because I was expecting, I love ABBA, so I was expecting a little bit more, like something, I don't know, I expect them to just go right from The Visitors into this and be like this big boisterous kind of record, or this icy Euro dance record. And it's not. It's the record of some 70-year-olds who used to be the most famous pop stars in the world. And it's nice. The lyrics are corny. It's all corny, but it still kind of speaks to the enduring power that they had to write a really nice melody, a nice pop song. And I like it. I'm 3.5, maybe 4 stars. We'll see. My official end of the year number is probably won't make my top 10, but it is by no means an embarrassment to ABBA's name. Unless you listen to Jason, he's going to go now. So maybe mute this if you're a big ABBA fan, because I don't think you're going to want to hear what he's going to have to say.
Yeah. So if you saw the ABBA listography with me, you know that ABBA's not really my cup of tea, and that's fine. I still got up to 3.5 stars on one of their records, The Visitors. So I thought that was a good record. I also, even though I don't like all of their other stuff, I can see what people like about it. It's very, slickly produced pop with good hooks. That's not what this is at all. This is a total mess of a record, and I don't understand the good reviews it's getting. To me, this is almost as bad as Life, Love, and Hope. This is just kind of a train wreck. The vocals do sound like grandma's completely. The music isn't even pop music. It sounds like a musical, which makes sense with considering the success of Mamma Mia. But the pop is gone. The hooks are gone. It's just them basically reciting storylines throughout these songs. The lyrics are totally ridiculous, especially in I Can Be That Woman when she's like, you get mad and say, screw you. It's so silly. Keep an Eye on Dan is really strange. Bumblebee is really weird. The one song that is kind of okay here is Just a Notion, and that's the one that comes from 78. I think they wrote it when they were working on Voulez-Vous, and it clearly is so different from everything else here. The production is weird. I think a lot of the sounds on this are not good. The drum sounds are really weak at times. The synth sounds are really cheesy. There's also like this, I don't know if it's a recorder or a pan flute that keeps showing up throughout the record, which is not a sound I really want to hear, especially not over and over again. I think the pacing of the record is a mess. It opens with like this slow, melodramatic ballad, I Still Have Faith in You, which makes no sense as an album opener. I don't know. I don't think anything about this record is really very good. So I am giving it 1 star.
If you're likening it to Life, Love, and Hope, I have to go now and listen to it.
Well, Cram, you really should listen to it. I don't think you're going to like it much at all.
I will. I'll get around to it. I just have been busy. You guys know I was at a wedding recently. I've been busy.
I would say you'll probably give it 2 stars. I do think I Still Have Faith in You, Don't Shut Me Down, Just a Notion, which they released previously to the album, are all good singles. I like opening with I Still Have Faith in You. It sort of gives you like a recap of the whole band. I still have faith in this band. I don't know. And yeah, I mean, the lyrics are very cheesy, like Bumblebee's about a bumblebee. Like there's this weird thing with a dog in Little Things. And it's bizarre. Like their Swedish accents are stronger on this one, I think, than they have been since like Ring Ring. So it's a really weird album, but I think it's charming. It's different. It doesn't sound like anything else out there right now, that's for sure. And sort of the design retroness, the total rejection of like everything that's happened in the past 40 years, I think is charming and nice.
Here's what it sounds like. This is the record. It sounds like your mom and your grandma went to an like off Broadway musical, and then they came home and they sang all of the parts to you. That's what the record sounds like.
I think the vocals are pretty good for a 70-year-old. I don't see much fault in the vocals or the production. I think Just a Notion is a little jarring because the vocals were recorded in 78. The production was done afterwards, though, so it kind of fits in. But you can definitely tell the vocals are stronger on that. But yeah, I mean, I would liken it to like a Broadway show starring, I don't know, Judi Dench or somebody older, Meryl Streep. She could sing these songs, and that's fine. Like it's not. Don't listen to this album like expecting 1981 like perfect vocals or even like really good vocals. Just sort of the retroness of it and the memories, and it's very warm, fuzzy feeling you get. If you love ABBA, you'll get that fuzzy feeling, as all these reviewers have. People, pretty good ratings, like 6 3.5 stars, 4 stars. Even Pitchfork gave it 7.4, which I couldn't believe. But I think they recognize like those feelings, those warm feelings of olden days that this album recalls and brings up, and sort of, you know, the vestiges of the past and all that shit, whatever. I think it's a nice album. Very nice.
I forgot to mention, you brought it up when I was talking about the pacing, how it opens with that weird slow ballad. And then the third song is a Christmas song. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. No decision that was made on this record makes any sense to me at all.
It's still going to be the most popular album of the year all across Europe. I think this week it outsold the next 40 albums in the top 40 in Britain.
My favorite part of Joe's review is basically like, if you go into this expecting a good album, that's just not fair.
Don't do it. Expect ABBA sung by your grandma, or, you know, written by your grandfather and grandma. It's weird. It's just like, I really didn't like it the first time I heard it. Like, I was quite disappointed, but then I listened to it a couple more times and it grew on me. And just the fact that it stands out so much in this year, I think helps its case a little bit as well. So it's no The Visitors or Super Trooper or Arrival or ABBA the album, but I think I'd still put it ahead of Ring Ring. So I think it would be, yeah, probably behind Waterloo, ahead of Ring Ring.
I don't want to come across as like ageist or anything like that. I think people that are older in age are perfectly capable of making some really cool music. But the problem is like the sweetness. It really just seems like a sweet little old lady singing these songs. And there's just nothing cool and or interesting about it. And that's it. That's all I'll say.
I can back up Jason. He is not an ageist. I mean, half of the 28-year-old white solo artist dudes you listen to sound like they're 82 years old to begin with and are boring as hell and barely alive. So yeah, he's definitely not ageist.
So let us know what you think of the new ABBA album. Drop it down in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. And find Facebook, Twitter, Instagram down in the description. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.